This is the foundational research and drafting of an adaptive management plan of habitat preservation, anaerobic digestion, and fire prevention in San Lorenzo Valley. I'm Patrick Leahy, a student of American Public University working on a global environmental management graduate certificate. This plan is for the EVSP 501 environmental management course. The plan will be to harvest invasive, senescent, and decomposing plant biomass for anaerobic digestion and fire risk mitigation by removal of flammable underbrush. Renewable energy will be generated via anaerobic digestion, which will reduce dependence on fossil fuels and abate global climate change. San Lorenzo Valley is the region of interest. It's in California, between the Pacific Coast Highway and State Route 17. The region of interest will span the towns of Boulder Creek, Ben Lomond, and Felton. The region of interest is just east of the Pacific Ocean, between the San Francisco Bay and Monterey Bay. Here we have the coordinates of the towns. The altitudes of the towns show there is some elevation. From the maps earlier, we saw the plan's regions of focus is close to the Pacific Ocean. The San Lorenzo Valley is nestled in the Santa Cruz Mountains, which is part of the Pacific Coast Range. The region of interest averages 36 inches of rain per year, but it is variable in drought-prone California with droughts exacerbated by climate change. The two relevant habitats are riparian habitats from the San Lorenzo River and temperate forest habitats of the coastal redwoods. In the past, the region of interest was a source of lumber for Santa Cruz and the greater area. There was a mill north of Boulder Creek and a flume built to bring the lumber south to Felton. Big Basin State Park was established to preserve the forest northwest of the region, transitioning the use of the area from lumber harvesting to preservation and recreation. Preservation has protected the trees, but management or lack thereof has raised fire risk. This preservation and lack of management led to the CZU lightning complex fires of 2020. The fires were devastating, resulting in 1,450 structures destroyed, 86,000 acres burned, including 97% of Big Basin State Park, 70,000 evacuated residents, and 1 fatality. This plan is a response to this tragedy to help prevent future fires while providing renewable energy in the process. These are the wildlife of the region. Mountain lions pose a threat at night, but otherwise there are no endangered animals endemic to the area. There are some pests, including mosquitoes and ticks. A tick-effective bug repellent and long sleeves and pants will be necessary for harvesters collecting the plant biomass. The soil is loamy with some sandy loam and stony loam soils. Because loamy soil is erosion prone, the harvesters will avoid collecting on steep gradients before and during wetter months. There are some endemic endangered plants in the region of interest. Harvesters will be trained to identify the Ben Lomond spineflower, wallflower, and buckwheat to safeguard their existence. Their natural habitat is relatively small, so facilitating their prosperity through managing competitors will be a great benefit to the plan. The native and non-endemic plants will be harvested only when senescent or decaying. All invasive plants, like the Himalayan blackberry and the English ivy, will be removed to preserve the ecosystem equilibrium and safeguard the endemic and endangered species. These plants may be left to preserve soil integrity on steep gradients during wet months only. There are 2 California policies that help fund the Forest Conservation Program that would support and fund this plan. The NPPA and the Endangered Species Act necessitate the protection of the Ben Lomond spineflower and wallflower endemic to the area. The California state federal governments both have legislation in place that requires the transition to local and renewable energy that this plan would help supply. There is policy that prohibits development along the roadways not meeting specific width and access requirements. This will affect the placement of the campus that the plan will operate out of. That is the foundational research and general overview of the plan and the policies affecting its implementation. Here are the references utilized in drafting it. Thank you for your time.